What's up, big ass niggas? This your boy J Miles, and I am back with another video. And you know what to do. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. But most importantly, make sure you share it with your ugly ass friends. On today's video, we will be covering Power Book 3. This one right here is the episode 8 recap. Now I know this is a little bit different from what you typically see, but I'm just changing up the format just a little bit, but it's still the same material. So with that being said, if you new to the channel, this is not like your typical recap. This is the ugly ass nigga recap. So basically how I see it in the ugly ass nigga style. If you already been subscribed to the channel, you already know what it is. So basically, I'm not gonna waste no time up into this. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. Now, we start this thing out with your boy Shang. It's crazy, right? They didn't waste no time to get rid of your boy Shang. They said, hey, you don't got enough souls, my nigga. We gotta get you up out of here. So we started out, your boy Marvin was up in there just serving a lot of his people. And basically he was threatening Shang saying, look, ugly ass nigga, give me, I'ma need them numbers to that safe. And Shang was sitting there like, clearly you don't know me. Well, who backs my operation? And basically Marvin was like, hey lad, nigga, I don't care who back your organization. If you don't tell me them numbers, your ugly ass up out of here. So he shot his ugly ass, other ugly ass colleagues that he had with him. And Shang knew from there, maybe I can strike a deal. So if I tell you, you let me go. And Marvin was even the ugliest head there. He was like, more like, if you don't tell me, you definitely go die. You was gonna die anyway, you glad nigga, so you might as well didn't tell him. But anyways, he told him the code. And Marvin was excited and stuff, talking about the diamonds and pearls and all that. And Shang was like, all right, Liu Kang, you got what you want. Now leave. And he was like, he said, unfortunately, ugly ass nigga, that ain't gonna be nearly enough. And he took his mask off, and Shang saw his face. And he was like, you're Rock's brother. And Marvin's like, I'm more than that. I'm the ugly ass nigga that's putting you down. And of course, he put your boy Quan, aka Shang down. So no more souls for him. The bicycle kick has landed. Anyways, next we go ahead and get to your boy Lou, and he just got through putting in that work on your girl Imani, right? And of course, Imani being all nosy and stuff like she has been since she's been in the season, asking him, is he a full-time worker? But we ain't talking about the same type of work that most might be thinking about. You know what I mean? So basically he was like, yeah, I'm full-time, little hoochie, you know. But the thing that was kind of, a little raise an eyebrow, because we all been a little suspicious of her, of whether or not she's some kind of informant or not. But it seems like she seems to keep trying to ask him for, information on certain things, like trying to get him to open up to her. Now, this could just be her trying to get close to him because she likes him a lot, but I don't know. This is Power. She might be up to something. Y'all let me know what y'all think up in the comments. But anyways, next, we go ahead and get to your boy Ishilla. And basically, Ishilla was being approached by ugly ass Kenyatta and I forgot the other ugly ass nigga name. Somebody let me know in the comments. Anyways, and they was like, they basically, how they Kenyatta nigga be talking, brother Lou, brother B Rilla. And now I was just saying, there's no way our brother B Rilla send us down the path, whatever the hell his little glad was saying. Answer these right crackers or whatever he was saying. He was like, no, babe. He was like, we're going to double back up in that house. And this time, we're going to get it right. And Ishilla was like, no, man. Y'all look like I don't mess that up, man. We hot. I can't go around there and do that again. And that's when the other little glad nigga was like, see, I told you, he was nothing but an itch nigga. But basically, long story short, Kenyatta was basically forced Ishilla and itched him into being, going in with them to complete the mission. Anyways, next. Hold on, man, niggas, my bad. Next, we get to your girl Juke and Kanan. They're meeting at the I don't know, some damn place they be meeting at. What this some little spot they be meeting at. Anyway, I don't care. Anyways, they were talking about a couple of things that Kanan was letting them know about the situation with OC, how he been missing, and he got hit for his money, etc. And also, Juke was bringing up, like, you said you had information on who you think took out Fame. And, of course, Kanan let her know he thought it was Rock. And she was like, glad nigga, there wasn't no damn Rock. And he was like, I knew you were going to say that, but hear me out, glad nigga. She it ain't nothing that she won't do. Then, of course, she was, Juke was like, no, she loved Fame, and Kanan was like, she loved D-Wiz too. And look what she did to him. So, long story short, he was trying to convince Juke that, it was indeed Rock who made the call on taking out Fame because he seen her paying off some dirty cops. But anyways, next we get to your boy Biggie. And then Biggie was having a conversation with his peeps and stuff, not bothering nobody. And then here come this little old pest pulling him on his kneecap, talking about I gotta when Nick's gonna be here? It's just I've been here a while. And he was like, look, ass nigga, I told you he gonna be here. He was like, yeah, but I really gotta get there. Like, that ain't my problem, look, ass nigga. You came your little glass here. Now, if you trying to make that my problem, then we go. What did he say? Anyways, y'all see how much bigger this nigga was than this man? He was real deal Biggie on this nigga. This nigga, he literally looked like he can go in that nigga coat pocket right now. Anyways, he punked his little ass and was like, get your little glass away from me. Next, Nick went ahead and came on in. Nick was kind of excited. He was like, yo, how's everybody and stuff like that. We making this money, yada, yada, yada. Then here he come pulling on his kneecap. He like, this little ass glad nigga. What you want, see? Glad nigga. And he was like, Kanan knows. He knows I took the money. How he know, little glad nigga? Because he just knows. I knew it. And he's like, well, if you know that he knew that he's on to you, you think it's a smart idea for you to have your little glass sitting up here? And he was like, I just need a little money, and I actually kind of felt sorry for the little glad nigga here, to be honest with y'all. Anyways, he was like, I just need a little money. I got a guy up in Florida that I can hide out with. And basically, that's when Akbar came and gave Nick a little information, letting them know that the plug Quan has now been taken out. Shang has met his end. And that's when this nigga Neat just started snapping. It was effing Rock. I knew it. Rock is responsible for everything that ever happens on the block up in Queens. Let him and Ronnie talk. Tell it. Rock is responsible for it, even though she actually was responsible for this, but I'm just saying. And basically while he was crashing out, here come Lil OC pulling on my nigga kneecap again. And then, nigga, I gotta go. And he that snap, pulled out his scrap. You wanna go, OC? Huh? You wanna go? Bow. Put one through his head. Then the nigga fell on the couch. Bow, bow, bow. Shot the feathers out that little ass nigga. And he was like, you wanna go? Yeah, you effing go. Then, of course, the legendary line that all the bad niggas on Power always do, tell the other niggas out of them to clean that shit up. Anyways, next we get to your boy Ishilla, and he in the studio trying to spit them bars, them booty ass bars. I said I'm a dookie ass nigga. Hold on. Run it one more time. I said I'm a booty ass nigga. Hold on. His like kept on messing. He kept on effing that stuff up because he was worried about getting itched by brother Kenyatta and the other little glad niggas that was with him. Took so much to the point that Lou had to tell that little glad nigga, hey lad, nigga, come out here, man. Let me holler at you. So he came out, and then, of course, he let him know that, because of the other lad nigga, Allen was like, maybe he didn't get enough sleep, but he was like, no, it ain't no sleep. Can I get a minute along with Lou? So they got a minute. That's when he expressed to him that he was the one responsible for, the hit, basically the robbery on Laurel, the little glass Jewish dude, and that he didn't want to do it, but they basically wouldn't hear him and stuff like that. Basically, he messed up. So now Lou got to hold that on his shoulders about what to do about it. Next, we get to your girl Rock and Marvin. They're now meeting up with the Afghan dude. I think his name is Afis, whatever this glad nigga name is. Anyways, and they are receiving some good news. Basically, the Afghan dude was like that his people worked extremely hard, and they are now within a week's time of delivering the product to Rock that she has been asking for. So basically, Rock was absolutely happy to hear it, and of course, her and Marvin left out with smiles on their face. Next, we get to your boy Detective Garcia walked in on Neek, and basically was like, so the rumor's true. This ugly ass nigga is alive. And basically, he was questioning him about Ronnie and Howard, because according to him, the NYPD has Neek as a prime suspect for the murder of both Ronnie and Detective Howard. But of course, like a typical gangster that don't talk, Unique basically let him know told him he don't know anything about that. And the only thing that I think is kind of important here is that, before he got out of there, Detective Garcia told Neek that you should have stayed on vacation, because, Unique told him he was on vacation. That's the reason why he was gone. So will Neek go back into hiding? Because keep in mind, Neek agreed with him shortly after that. We shall see. Anyways, next we get to your boy Snaps and your girl Pop. They're having a meeting along with Kanan, and pretty much they asked Kanan what information did he know about Quan being put down. And of course, Kanan said he didn't know anything about it. He was like, I didn't know the glass nigga was dead. First I ever heard of it. And he was like, but what y'all little glass know about Famous? And he said, basically, he was trying to let them know, he was asking them, could they use their NYPD connects to find out if the cops were indeed behind the hit, and if so, who were the ones put the cops on the job. So basically they questioned him like, Pop was like, how your little lad know we got connected to the NYPD? And he said, well, he seen y'all messing with cops earlier or something like that, so he figured they had their hands up into a little of everything. So they told him that they would basically check on it for him and get back to him. Anyways, next we get to Marvin having a visit with Early Tyler, and pretty much he was questioning him on how did he deal with that situation that happened in Howard Beach, about the guy that was a made man that refused to pay what he owed. So Early pretty much let him know, look, him and his cousin Londell put him down. And Marvin, of course, wasn't happy to hear about it because that would cause conflict between him and Stefano and their business. But let's keep it real, he was right. Marvin did tell him to do what he got to do, and now you can't be unhappy with the results that he came up with because you did tell him to handle it. So basically, he was telling him that his cousin needs to not talk because of what he did in the past. He had a history. He did some time for 5 years, I believe it was, because he couldn't stop opening his mouth. Anyways, next we get to your girl Juke. She has made it to OC's family house, and she was there to initially talk to the mother, but ended up meeting this ugly ass brother. And his ugly ass was like, so you and OC, a thing or something like that? And she like, nah, we just friends, little lad. And he was like, he came up on her, snuck up on her from behind on some freaky ugly ass did his shit. It was like, can I be your friend? She like, nah, I'm good at that, nigga. And he tried to get rough with her. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be your friend, or whatever his ugly ass said. And she, of course, like expected, put his little glass in his place and pulled the scrap on him. She was like, I told your little glass I wasn't friendly. Now where OC at? And little glass was like, I ain't seen a little glass nigga in a week. Maybe he's somewhere in a little mouse hole or something. And she was like, well, your little glass could have saved yourself some lumps if you just said that from the beginning. And then of course she left. Next we go ahead and get to your girl Rock. And she's having a meeting with this coked out, idiotic David who just talking about any and everything except the business that Rock came there to talk about. I just don't think that I'm good enough for anyone. What do you think? You think I'm gonna... She don't care, glass nigga. God, dog, shut up. But anyways, she was like, look, David, I ain't got time for all this glass shit that you talking about. I just need to know about the work. We better have a lot of work just coming in, and I need to know. I noticed that we got less drivers. Oh, and we just had a couple little people that was fired. But hey, it doesn't take a Howard. It doesn't take a Howard degree just to drive a truck. Look, I need you, a glass nigga. I love being needed. Man, shut your ugly ass up, man. Hey, they need to take this ugly ass nigga out. He cannot be trusted. He ugly as hell. But anyways, right as of now, she has no choice because she don't have a better deal. Hey, they need to be looking for it. That mind ugly as hell. Anyways, next, we go ahead and get to the two ugly ass cops that were responsible for putting your boy Famous down. So basically right here, the revealing was, I kind of felt like when Kanan was first asking about it there, that that was the revealing if you knew how to read between the lines. But right here, they made it crystal clear that absolutely it was none other than Snap and Pop, like I predicted, that was behind it. It took me a while to get it. A couple of people pointed it out before me, but I didn't necessarily see it. And then I was able to see the light. And they said we asked y'all glad to put them down because we didn't like that beat, how he was talking up in the precinct. We didn't need that tracking back to us. But you little sloppy, Rodney King ass niggas didn't even do that right. You're like, oh, you talking about the Stark kid? He just fishing, but we'll find out what he knows or what he think he knows. Anyways, next we go ahead and we gonna get to your boy Neek again. And now he's paying a visit to your boy, Phil Russo. He's like, look, Rock took out our connect. So he basically he wanted to hit at Rock. But, Phil was like, he's not willing to go to war with New York over your little vendetta that you got against Rock. And he was like, come on, nigga, we looking like straight itches out here. And he was like, no, you are a glass nigga. And the stuff that you got going on, that's messing with your business, not mine. I still expect to get paid if ugly ass nigga. And of course, Neek was hot, but he walked out because he knew he was outmanned and outgunned. But y'all let me know, do y'all think Neek gonna circle back on this ugly ass nigga and take him out? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, next we get to your boy Lou and Kenyatta. So basically he walks up, he was like, Kenyatta, right? And then he was like, that's the founders, that's the ancestor named or whatever his little ass said. Shut your wonder ball head ass up, his ass nigga. But anyways, he was like, so Lou basically was telling him, look, nigga, me and be real alive to you. Ain't no money up in that man's house, and we working together, so I'm gonna need your little lad to leave him alone. He was like, I don't really know exactly what you're talking about, brother Lou, but I don't like how you said it. And Lou was like, don't give a F, ugly ass nigga. And then that's when the other ugly ass nigga came out, was like, you should, because we know the old Lou, he had, he was respected or whatever, but we know you ain't got no manpower now. And that's when Kenyatta starts talking all comfortable and stuff. Your blood is all dissected and diluted by them crackers, ugly ass nigga. You don't even know how to be a ugly ass nigga no more. And then basically Lou was like, all right, ugly ass niggas, and he walked on out. Next, we get to your boy Marvin and your girl Rock. And now, Rock was telling Marvin that she needed him to go ahead and, set up a meet with Stefano and let him know that they're going to be moving very fast, since him and Stefano has been very chatty and close all of a sudden as of late. But that's when Marvin revealed to her that him and Stefano might be getting ready to have some, bump some heads. And she was like, no, glad nigga, not when we about to get ready to win it, but get ready to start winning. Then he's glad when they were like, basically I had Early Tyler running books for Stefano. So Early had to mess up, basically it was this some glad nigga that didn't want to pay what he owed, so Early had to get rough with one of the guys. And she was like, well, how rough did his little lad get with it? He was like, and basically his silence was letting her know that he had to take him out. She's like, Marvin, you ugly ass nigga, you just gotta mess up, huh? He was like, but Stefano don't know it was Early. And then basically she was telling him, you need to take care of that. He was like, yeah, and his cousin Londale was with him, and she was like, you need to take care of it. He was like, yeah, but I'm gonna take care of him. And then she was like, you need to take care of both of them. And of course, Marvin was like, Early keeps things close. He's not gonna say anything. And basically, she said some things about, him saying that he's gonna handle it should be engraved on his tombstone, because he's always messing stuff up. And I think this was a very revealing thing. I think what Marvin's fate and how is it going to happen was revealed right here in this scene, but I will touch on that a little further in another video. But anyways, next we get to your boy Neek. Now out of a plug, he needed to find a new source of, to basically help himself out. So he's paid a visit to Snap and Pop. So he walks in and Snaps is like, we see more of your little ass now that you've been dead than we did when you was alive. But, he was like, it made him realize how much, how much has been unsaid. But anyways, he had a pitch to let, basically like, Rock is about to be done soon. So how would they like to make some income with him? Because if right now they only getting a little bit of what Kanan is bringing in. So he was going to make a lucrative deal that they can, earn a whole lot more if they were to work with him. So they basically told him, we'll talk among each other and we'll get back to you. But we all know that ultimately they're going to decide to go through with it. But anyways, next we get to your girl Rock, and she is pretty much going through memory lane with things with her mother, the things she used to wear, the things, stuff like that, while having a conversation with Juke. And, Juke ended up asking, how did she die? And Rock chose to lie to her for whatever reason. I guess because she didn't want, she was thinking maybe Juke wouldn't understand that she put her down because she asked her to, because she was suffering. So she just lied to her. But she also asked what's going on with the investigation on what happened to Famous. And Juke decided to lie to her about that because Rock wanted to know what Kanan was thinking. And of course, Kanan right now thinks that it was Rock, that's responsible for it. But of course, she couldn't tell Rock that because she would be betraying Kanan's trust. And, Juke doesn't necessarily betray anyone's trust. Anyways, next, we go ahead and get to Marvin, and he is now having a sit down with Stefano. Basically, he's letting Stefano know that they're going to be up and rolling very soon. They have the product that's coming in, and everything is going to be smooth. But Stefano is letting him know, look, you're talking way too far ahead of time. We need to make sure we deal with everything that's going on here in Queens before we start, talking about any kind of expansion. Because Marvin was talking about expanding, beyond just New York. But anyways, in the midst of that conversation, Stefano also asked him, did he know anything about his homie that was killed up in Howard Beach? He's like, nah. Marvin's like, nah, I don't know nothing about that little bad nigga. That's white folks still. And he said, well, when I do find out, Stefano was like telling him, when I do find out who it is, he's going to be wearing concrete slippers. And Marvin, of course, replied, I hope those don't ever come in my size. But Stefano let him know it's an all size fit all. So Marvin, of course, knew this wasn't good for him. Anyways, next we get to a garbage truck man that was getting ready to empty the truck, and of course they seen the body of the little homie, the little dwarf, the gingerbread man, OC, with the bullet in his head. So of course the body has been discovered. Anyways, next we get to your girl Crystal. She's at the house looking good as hell. Y'all seen her. Y'all seen it. Anyways, Kanan comes in and he tells her that he needs her to move out of town because he can no longer keep her safe. But before that conversation ended, Crystal let him know that she doesn't believe his mother has anything to do with the death of Famous. And she also revealed that she believed that he's at a point in his life that he can't trust his mother so much that he thinks anything bad, he's looking to blame her for it, which is 100% the truth. Anyways, next we get to your boy Early Tyler, and we get to the shot of my homie right here. That's my boy Robert Dion. Congratulations on his role in Raising Kanan. His character name is Calvin, and they're all sitting among each other, right? And they are basically just sharing. Look like they're just having a family moment, talking about just family stuff. Nothing really too important. But the reason why I had to point this out, one, because my homie was there, and of course, it led to the following scene, where we get the image finally of Marvin putting the gun behind somebody's head. Like I last predicted, once I got the information that Early Tyler had a cousin that basically did the work with Early, I knew then that was the person who Marvin was going to be put down here. So of course he tells him loose lips get something. I don't know. He said something about loose lips. Basically, snitches get stitches in that nigga, and popped him in the back of his head. And I think this right here also is going to be another thing that can seal Marvin's fate. But anyways, next we go ahead and we get to Rock and the Afghan dude. The Afghan dude has now delivered the product that he promised to Rock, and now they are celebrating because she now has an endless supply of product. But it's not going to be all grits and gravy. Anyways, next we go ahead and get to your girl Juke and Kanan. They were talking among each other about what has gone on. Kanan was asking what happened with the situation with OC. Of course, OC wasn't there. It was just his little bad brother. And Kanan basically was, letting them, they heard a knock on the door. It was some little guy, I forgot his name. And he basically informed Kanan that they found OC and that little nigga was dead. Next, we get to your boy Lou, and he's walking with Ishilla, and basically he's telling them that, look, them niggas Kenyatta is definitely gonna be circling back on him. And now that he stepped in to try to, take up for him to basically get them off his back, he's gonna also be a target. And Ishilla was like, man, it's not my fault. First, you started not liking my ever since your boy went down. You started not liking my music, and now you don't want soft. The Lou I knew, then he was like, I ain't never been soft with glass, nigga. Lou interrupted him real quick with that. But Rilla was like, look, all I know is the Lou Thomas that I heard about would have been a problem for these ugly ass niggas. And he let him know, I'm still a problem with glass niggas, for myself and for them. Anyways, next we go ahead and get to your boy Detective Garcia. He making his rounds. That boy making moves out here, trying to get his job done. So he walked up on Juke while she trying to have a slice of pizza. She like, he wanted to ask her a little information because he heard from Burke that she was a decent citizen, and that she helped her out or something like that along the way. And basically she was like, but I ain't helping you with that nigga. And she got up out of there. She ain't even waste no time with it. Next we go ahead and get to your girl Crystal. She paid a visit to Rock because she was very much worried that Kanan is getting ready to get himself into some trouble that he may not be able to get himself out of, and she wanted to seek some help from his mother. Rock told her that it's only so much that a mother could do, and Crystal was like, that's the same BS her mother would say when they don't want to take responsibility. But also, Rock questioned her about who it is that Kanan think is responsible for it, but Crystal refused to answer that because, just like Juke, she didn't want to betray Kanan's trust. So it looks like Crystal turns out to be a good girl. She's not shady like a lot of us were thinking. Anyways, next we get to look like, I don't know, maybe a memorial service, after the aftermath or whatever of it. They having look like they having a little family gathering or whatever. And you got your boy Fake Ghost Crank, talking, saying that they found OC up in the ditch. Up in a dumpster and stuff like that. really this scene was kind of irrelevant, but hey, whatever. Next, we get to your boy Kenyatta, and basically he's like, we gonna meet Brother Lou into the ancestor real soon, and I ain't leaving till I get there. But if you want to get out of this, he was talking to the other little glad nigga in the car with him, then I'll be sure to double back on you later. So, not wanting to have a meeting with the ancestors quicker than he wanted to, the ugly ass nigga sat in the car because the ugly ass nigga, he was ready to go. He was like, man, them ugly ass nigga been in there a minute, bro. Let's just leave and we can get them niggas later. But Kenyatta, he was determined. And determined he was to get his ass knocked out. But anyways, next, we get to these ugly ass Rodney King ass cops. They walked up to your girl Crystal and they said, Miss Bradley, we got some questions to you about Sean Figueroa. And she was like, what? How long? Famous? I don't know nothing about that glad nigga. We're like, well, that's what we want to find out. What do you know, glad nigga? And basically, they forced her off the bus. And it's really sad because we know more than likely it's not going to end well for your girl, Crystal. Anyways, next, the final scene. Of course, Lou was able to outmaneuver these ugly ass niggas, had B-Rilla walk out so that they ugly ass could discover him, and they was thinking that, they was gonna roll up on him, but Lou used B-Rilla as bait to distract them while he came in on the other side and let it loose on them. And of course, Kenyatta hit but not quite dead, tried to crawl out the car, and that's when Lou looked him in the face and put him down. And I'm sure a lot of us noticed, he was smiling as he did it, so he enjoyed it. But like 50 was narrating, it's just like Junkies that he needed his fix to be in the game. So, pretty much that's all I got for y'all as far as this particular video, ass niggas. I tried to cover all the key points of the episode. But if there's anything that I missed or that you guys noticed that you possibly think should have been in here, you can let me know. But like usually, you can just let me know in the comments. What do you think of this overall episode of this video and etc. Let me know all of that more in the comments. But like usual, if you're cool with me, fool with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, leave a like, comment, let me know what you're thinking. Most importantly, make sure you share with your glad friends. But until the next video, I'm out.